Wow, did you see that? Someone just threw litter out of that car window. That's littering, and it's not just ugly, it's rude, and it's against the law. You know, we all know littering is wrong, but people still do it. We just drive around the roadways looking at other people's trash. And even though no one will admit to it, somehow we always end up with trash along the roadways in Pierce County. And this is a big problem. You take this piece of trash and you add it to other pieces of trash, and pretty soon our roadways are just ugly. It just takes away from the beautiful scenery that we're so proud of here in Pierce County. But there is something we can do about it. Pierce County has a special program called Adopt a Road Litter Control, and it's for all kinds of folks, civic groups, businesses, schools, basically any organization that wants to adopt a section of county roads and keep it clean. You see these people? They volunteer with the Adopt a Road Litter Control program, and the work they're doing helps keep Pierce County clean. Now, even though this isn't the most desirable place to be, these volunteers say that they're proud to be doing their part. So you're probably wondering what it takes to become involved in this special program. Now, first, we want you to be safe out there, so it's important that you be in good physical health with good hearing and good eyesight. All volunteers must be at least 15 years old, and there must be at least one adult supervisor for every 8 minors, young men and women under the age of 18. Now, volunteers must display some common sense and concern for their own safety and the safety of the rest of the folks in the group. And you need to go through a special orientation, of which this video is a part, to learn how to be safe while picking up litter. Next, you must dress in the proper attire. Sleeved shirts and long pants will help protect you from stickers and branches and whatever else you may come across when you're working on the road. No tank tops on this job. And fabulous thick-soled boots like the ones I'm wearing. No athletic shoes or tennis shoes here. A fabulous hard hat is a must, and this very cool safety vest so people can see you better. The next thing we need are gloves. Leather ones are best because they provide a little more protection against cuts and puncture wounds. The next item are safety glasses. They're a great idea too. They're great for protecting your eyes from dust and bugs, things like sharp sticks that you may not see when you lean over to pick up the trash. Now remember, all of this is for your safety. So remember, when you're out there on the road with cars and trucks traveling at incredible speeds, we just want you to be safe. So we've got our gear, and I say it's time to go. Let's get to work. Now, it's important to use as few vehicles as possible when heading to the cleanup site, so make sure you meet at a designated spot to carpool. And while you're there, take some time to review your safety tips in your Adopt a Road brochure. It's just a refresher course to make sure you understand the rules of the side of the road. Now, while you're out there working under the hot sun, it's really important that you have a good sunscreen covering exposed parts of your body, including your face, your neck, and don't forget your ears. And don't forget the insect repellent. Now, here are some other musts for your group. Now, all volunteers must fill out a medical aid coverage form every time they work at the roadside. And the crew also needs to carry an appropriate size first aid kit for the size of the group, like the one here. And at least one volunteer must have a valid first aid card. Great. And someone else needs to know the closest route to the hospital in case there's an emergency. All right, great. I think we're ready to go. Is everybody ready? Let's go. All right, we'll see you at the site. All right, we're here. When you get to the work site, make sure you pull your vehicles well off the side of the road. The key is to keep clear of traffic. And make sure you have one vehicle parked well ahead of the workers with its flashers on. It's called a buffer vehicle, and it's very, very important. This just lets drivers know that there are people working up ahead. And also, you want to make sure that your crew puts out a caution sign, again, so motorists will know that there are crews working. Make sure you park your vehicles on the same side of the street as the one in which you're working. And if you plan to clean up both sides of a two-lane highway, just do one side at a time. It doesn't confuse the drivers and it'll be safer for your crew. Now see how everyone is facing traffic and they're on the same side of the road? These are good safety practices. Oh, and you need a lookout person. It's someone that's keeping an eye on traffic and can alert the crew if something happens. Be careful of poison oak and poison ivy. They're out there. And remember too that sticker bushes can rip your clothes, plus they can hurt. So those are some of the safety tips. Now it's also important for you to know what you can pick up and what you need to stay away from. You can pick up paper, paper cups, cup tops, aluminum cans, straws, six-pack rings, food wrappers, bottles, clothing, various lightweight car parts, tires, and pieces of tires. But you should leave the really big stuff for the professionals. Basically, you can pick up anything common sense tells you is safe to pick up. All right, now take a look at this. Can you believe people actually throw syringes out the window while they're driving? Now, if you're out working on a crew and you see something like this, don't pick it up. In fact, if you come across a needle or a container that looks like it may have some type of chemical in it, or just something that's too large for you to pick up, what you want to do is make sure you put your colored tape on a nearby branch and just let the professionals take care of it. Now, in addition, there are some other things that you need to pay special attention to.
Hi, I'm Deputy Chad Ruddenbow with the Pierce County Sheriff's Department Clandestine Lab Team. I'm out here today to give you an idea of some of the things that you want to look out for when you're on the side of the road picking up litter. Drug makers very often throw their garbage out the window in the middle of the night. Some of the things that you may see on the side of the road could be chemical cans containing the chemical that they're labeled for, or waste from meth labs. You can find pseudoephedrine bottles. Pseudoephedrine bottles in themselves may not be hazardous, but they can be coated with chemicals and methamphetamine from the meth labs. Lithium batteries. Stripped out lithium batteries can react with water and cause flame and burning. Other chemical bottles, coffee filters, starting fluid cans. And very importantly, the last two things are bottles or containers that have tubes coming out of them. Rock salt inside, liquids inside. Your ordinary mason jars. Mason jars in themselves are not hazardous, however the liquids that you can find inside of them may be. No point to picking them up. A lot of these are chemicals and the hazardous wastes from drug labs. Keep in mind that you may smell this stuff before you see it. You may get odors of ammonia, you may get acid smells, you may get odors of chemicals. You may get a hospital-like odor. These are things that'll tip you off that there's probably bad stuff around. And you want to stay away from these things. Most importantly, if you see any propane tanks on the side of the road that have altered valves or bluish corrosion on them, please leave them, let the professionals come out and handle them. They're very dangerous. They can explode. They can give off anhydrous ammonia. So if you see anything on the side of the road that looks suspicious, please mark it and leave it where it is. And let the professionals come out and handle it safely. Thank you.
So you can see why you need to be careful about what you're doing. Now when the weather's nice, be sure and take a break now and then and don't overexert yourself. You can really build up a sweat working alongside the road, so you need to drink plenty of water. It's good for you, and on a day like this, it really hits the spot. So what else do we need to be careful about? See that? Leave it. It'll come to the side of the road eventually. It's unsafe, and if you get hit by a car, well, that just won't do, will it? For whatever reason, people throw bottles from their cars. Not only does it pollute, but a flying bottle could really hurt someone standing nearby. Broken glass doesn't go into regular trash bags. Please put it in a box. And you don't have to pick up every little piece. It's just not necessary. But most things can go into the bags. It's important not to overstuff them or put sharp objects in them that could rip the bag or hurt someone. That's when you use one of your boxes. Besides, if the bag rips, you'll just have to pick the litter up all over again, and that's not the idea, right? An awful lot of stuff thrown by the side of the road can actually be recycled. If you find something out there that's recyclable, gather it up and turn it in. Who knows, your group could become rich. Or not. But recycling is good for our environment too. So if you've finished in one area and plan to go to the other side of the road, whatever you do, don't cross the road on foot. This too can be hazardous to your health. Get into your vehicles and drive to the other side. Park the cars like you did on the first side and remember to put up your signs again. If you must walk on a bridge, go in single file, just like we learned when we were little. Also, don't pick up trash in tunnels or on bridges or overpasses. Stay off steep rocks or unstable slopes. A tumble-down one would not be a good thing. And stay away from road construction crews or maintenance crews. They're busy with their own work and need to keep safe too. Although listening to music might seem like a good way to pass the time, please don't wear headphones while you're out there working. You can't hear what's going on and you might get hurt. Check out this guy. Now don't let yourselves get carried away with all of your good deeds and forget the time of day. Only collect litter during daylight hours. When it's dark, you can miss things, and motorists can't see you. And don't go into bad weather. If the roads are slick or icy, just stay home. We want your help, but only when people can see you. After you're done filling up your bags, stack them neatly by the side of the road, and road crews will come by later to pick them up. And that's what it's all about, and you'll feel really good about the work you're doing. The Pierce County Adopt a Road Litter Control Program wants to thank you for volunteering and keeping our roads clean and beautiful, and so will all the people who drive these roads every day. And by the way, if your group volunteers, you'll get a sign like the one right behind me, and it'll have your name up top. And boy, after a long day of picking up litter, I am pretty tuckered, so I'm glad my ride's here. Oh, and by the way, don't forget your Adopt a Road brochure because it can answer any questions you might have along the way. Thanks again.